Welcome to It's Good to Be Smart. I'm your host, Dr. Dave Mulder. I love to learn new things, and I hope you do too, because it's good to be smart. In this episode, we're kicking off a brand new series all about scientists you may not have ever heard of, but whose work has shaped our understanding of the world in powerful ways. Before we dive into those stories, we need to ask a couple of really big questions. What is science? And who is a scientist? Let's start with the word science. Science isn't just a bunch of facts in a textbook. Science is a process, a way of thinking and working that helps us understand the world around us. It's something humans do. It's how we ask questions, gather evidence, test ideas, and make sense of everything from the teeniest single-celled creature in a puddle of pond water to the vastness of the galaxies spinning light years away from us. You could say that science is our way of exploring creation. It's our attempt to understand how things work, how they've changed, and how they might behave in the future. And here's the cool part. There's not just one way to do science. Depending on what you're studying, scientists use different methods to find their answers. Let's take a quick tour through a few types of science and how scientists in each of these fields work. Astronomers look up, way up. They study stars, planets, and galaxies. But they can't exactly go touch a star or scoop up some stardust with a net. Instead, astronomers use telescopes and satellites to collect light and other signals from space. They look at patterns in that data to understand how stars form, how planets move, even how the universe began. Their lab is the sky. Geneticists, on the other hand, zoom way in. They study DNA, the tiny molecules that carry instructions for life. Geneticists might work in a lab using microscopes and machines to study how traits are passed on from one generation to the next. They might investigate how a gene affects a disease or how species are related. Their work helps us understand everything from human health to how plants grow. Chemists ask questions like, what's this made of? Or how do these particles interact? They mix things, heat things, cool things, and sometimes even blow things up, on purpose and safely, of course. They carefully observe how substances change, and they use data to explain why. That's how we get everything from new medicines to the materials in your sneakers. Environmental scientists study the systems of our Earth, air, water, soil, and the living things that depend on them. They might collect water samples from a river, or measure pollution levels, or track the migration of birds. They want to understand how humans affect the planet, and how we can protect it. Geologists focus on the Earth itself. Rocks, minerals, earthquakes, volcanoes. They might hike through deserts or dig deep into the ground to uncover fossils or layers of ancient rock. By piecing together clues from the Earth's surface, they tell stories of what happened long in the past. They carefully observe clues from the Earth's history to explain how things have come to be in the world today. Physicists ask questions about how the universe works at its most basic level. They explore energy, motion, forces, and the building blocks of matter. Some physicists work on giant experiments using particle accelerators. Others develop theories using math and computers. Their work to understand the fundamental principles of how things work leads to the development of technologies like lasers, GPS, and even smartphones. All of these scientists use different tools and methods, but they're all doing the same thing. They're asking good questions, collecting evidence, and using what they learn to explain how the world works. Science is systematic. That means it's organized, careful, and based on data. Scientists don't just guess and hope for the best. They observe, they test, they repeat, and when they get new information, they update their understanding. And that's what makes science so powerful. It can grow and change over time as we learn more. Sometimes science moves in tiny steps. Sometimes it leaps forward with a new discovery or a new technology. But every scientist builds on the work of those who came before them. When we learn about scientists in history, we're not just learning facts, we're learning how science grows. And guess what? That means science isn't finished. There are still so many questions to ask, so many mysteries to explore. And you can be part of that. You don't have to wear a lab coat or work in a giant observatory to be a scientist. If you're paying attention, asking thoughtful questions, testing your ideas, and just being curious about your world, you're doing science. You could be a future astronomer, decoding the signals of distant planets, or a geneticist, solving medical puzzles, or a chemist inventing cleaner energy, or an environmental scientist protecting endangered ecosystems, or a geologist unlocking secrets from Earth's past, or a physicist discovering how the universe really works. Science is not just something you study, it's something you do. And that means you, yes, you, can be a scientist too. I hope that by learning more about some specific scientists in this series, you'll be encouraged and inspired to not only understand how science works, but how you might take a scientific approach to exploring the world around you. Thanks for joining me for this episode, and nice work leveling up your brain power today. Remember, smart isn't something you are, it's something we become as we're learning. So keep listening, keep learning, and keep getting smarter every day. It's Good to Be Smart is created and produced by me, Dr. Dave Mulder, with the support of the National Science Foundation through the Robert Noyce Teacher Scholarship Program. Subscribe to this feed so you'll never miss an episode. And check out our home on the web, goodtobesmart.com. Until next time, keep asking questions, stay curious, and keep learning, because it's good to be smart.